All right, this is my updated little video on taking notes in Edgenuity with special emphasis on the guided notes, but really not so much notes. Um, and it's very similar to the previous video. We're just using I'm showing you how to use a different bit of software if you want to type on your guided notes digitally. Other than that, all the information is the same. So if you were this student, little Mikey, and you wanted to get to work, rather than clicking next activity, I would suggest you choose the class you want and click in the middle. And that takes you here. And that gives you a little banner that shows you how far behind you might be, so you know how much time you need to get caught up. Close that thing. And then you can either click on here, which is the highlighted one, or you could just scroll up and you'll see this. Why is that important? Because it contains two important things. It has this, which is the lesson objectives, and it has these things, which are the guided notes. Both of these are very helpful for making notes for you so that you can pass the quizzes, you can pass the tests, you can show proficiency to your teacher. If you fail your quiz a bunch of times, you can still show that you understand. How could you do that? Well, if you can answer those three questions, they aren't really questions, but if you can show that you know how to do those three things, then you can pass the lesson because you've basically done everything you're supposed to do. So first things first, you look at these, and if you're thinking about these as notes, the very first thing you probably want to do is, if possible, put them in your own words. These are pretty straightforward, so I'm not exactly sure how good these are, but identify the features in a myth. Well, that means you got to be able to look at a myth and know what kind of stuff is in it. Summarize a story using a basic plot, beginning, middle, and an end. You could shuffle those words around, but I don't think there's a whole lot easier way to say that, unless you have trouble with the word summarize, which means just sort of put something in your own words, but shorten it a lot. And then identify the purpose of a myth. Again, identify, be able to talk about what the purpose, the reason for myths are. So what you might do is either copy them word for word or put them in your own words on a piece of paper, maybe one on one page, one on another page, one on another page. Or what you might do is one in one section, just give some space, because you're going to type underneath these, or you're going to write underneath these. So what I'm going to do is show you how you might type underneath these. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to start the next lesson. Why am I going to start the next lesson? Because don't talk. I need to find that pause button. There we go. You go up here, and this e-notes comes up. I'm even going to make them bigger here. And then right down in here, you could paste those things, and you could give some space. And you could be ready to type the stuff that you see in the videos and learn in the instruction. What are the things that are in myths? Those are the features of a myth. You start typing those away in here. Or if you've written in your own handwriting, you're writing them down on your piece of paper, all the things you see in a myth. Same thing with here. Show that you know how to summarize a story with a beginning and a middle and an end. Tell a story in a short way, making sure you got a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm going to give you some hints about that, maybe some practice. That's what you should do here. Same thing. You could type that all in here. If you save this, it will save for everything. Your quizzes, your tests. It won't officially save for the finals, but the teachers are talking about that. The other reason why writing things down is good, not only is it great for your brain and helps you learn better, but you guys are going to be doing this at home, and there's no way we can stop you from accessing your notes on your final if you've got it all written down, okay? So that's my suggestion. Write it down, but if you don't want to, I'm giving you some hints. Okay, that's how you might take nice e-notes using that feature. Now we'll go back, and I'm going to show you about guided notes. If it comes up, all right, I'm going to close this bugger again, open up here, click on here, guided notes. Guided notes is like the fill-in-the-blank version of notes. And the problem with filling in the blanks is it's not the best way to learn things. So better than just filling in these blanks would be putting them in your own words, copying them down onto your own paper. But that is kind of a lot to copy. But some people are hardcore and they're just going to do it. And if that's you, good, go for it. Some people might look at this and say, well, I'm not going to copy it, but I'm going to use this as like a guide so I know what I'm going to put in my notes. And they're still going to write it by hand. And then the other people are going to like be lucky enough to have a computer printer at home and they're going to print this up. Now I hear we're working on trying to get you packets of these notes all ready for you to fill in the blanks. But again, I'm not so sure that just filling in the blanks is your best choice. But we got to give you something to help, because Edgenuity says if you know the stuff that's on these guided notes, then you know the stuff you need for the quiz. So don't just write it down. Don't just fill in the blank, because no one's going to check this really. Like, this is just for you to use as notes. And if you don't understand it, don't write it down, because they're supposed to help you make a quiz. But right now, it's not writable, right? I can't write on there. But the district has installed on all the Chromebooks this thing called Kami. Now, if you're not on a district Chromebook, you actually have to just go and find Kami, K-A-M-I. Let's see it again, K-A-M-I with this sort of italicized K there. Get the free version and install it on your computer. It comes suggested by the district as a good piece of software. So now that it's installed on my computer, I can just press this button. Let's see what happens. I've never done this before. Ooh, look at that. All right. So now what can I do? I could write by hand. Write my name. See, I'm using cursive. Can you guys even read cursive? You're also young. You don't even know cursive. You could put shapes in there. You can erase. There's other stuff you can do, right? Write equations. So here's probably the most important thing, the text box, right? I was so busy teaching you guys. I didn't think about what the question was. But anyway, you could just see it. I just put a text box. I type this, push this over here, and now I start my writing. What are myths all about? Maybe that's the lesson question. I don't think it is. But anyway, hey, look at that. It's right there. This works much better than the other one, the Candy. So thank you, District, for getting this set up for us. So then I think it just had that download problem. So we might have some problems here with this part. All you would need to do at that point is download it, or you could save it to Google Drive or whatever, and then you could save it wherever you want to. Let's see how badly this messes up. It said it didn't actually upload it or something. So let's see what happens. Come on, save. I'm uploading it to Drive, so it's there. So now there it is. There's my, oops, I have to do that. There it is. It's saved in my Google Drive. So if my teacher ever wanted to see it, I could show them. If I ever wanted to access it, all I need to do is go to my Google Drive, and there it would be. But again, still think you should probably do it in your own handwriting, in your own words on something else. But if you want to use this, Kami's pretty sweet. That's about it. Thank you all very much.